we say incremental. So incremental means ki they do not say at first place that ki policy making should be incremental. What they do is that they want to know that how policy is made, and on the basis of that they find that policy is made incrementally. If you analyze any state, any government, even let's say that India also, if there are 100 policies, so those 100 policies, most of the policies will be incremental. How many radical policies we have? Can we know? How many radical policies we can name? Even in the present government, even let's say when Indian Penal Code is being replaced by a new law, can we say it is a radical change? Not necessarily. So this is what we have to understand. When we go for, let's say we have mayor in council plan, and then we start a DEAM model. When we adopt a DEAM model from mayor in council, then it can be radical. But when you have a direct election of mayor without changing the structure, it is incremental. Because structure remains the same. That's why they find that most of the policies are made incrementally. They do not want to tell that you should make policy incrementally. They say that policy is made incrementally. This you have to understand. So similarly, Simon, that time we told that Simon says that decision is made in a bounded rational way. He is not saying that you make decision bounded rational way. Both are two different things. When you say कि we will make decision bounded rational, it means कि जहाँ rationality भी possible है वहाँ भी आप bounded करोगे. So decision is bounded rational because we have limited information. This is one thing. Similarly, decision is incremental because there are so many factors. So many factors we told you yesterday. Sunk cost, this is one. Risk factor. There are so many stakeholders, and those, let's say that stakeholders, so they will try to have their own interests served. They will have their own interests served. Different people want different, let's say farmers want their interest, corporate wants its own interest, people in general want their own interest. So that way we can consider, different people want different types of interests. So because of that, there will be, even Wilson also told, Wilson told that reforms in democracy will be slow. So when he say reforms in democracy will be so slow, why he is saying reform means it will be slow? It is because lack of consensus. So this is how, let's say, they will say at first place. There are other factors also. Many a time, as we told that, we do not have information. We can make best decision only when we have information. So many a time we have information problem. Many a time we have resource problem. Suppose you want to make your school completely digitalized. Resource ही नहीं है. Resource का मतलब पैसा नहीं होता है. सिर्फ पैसा नहीं होता है. पैसे से नहीं डिजिटलाइज होगा. आपके पास उतने डिजिटलाइज स्किल टीचर नहीं है, उतने सारे डिजिटल स्किल्ड वाले लोग नहीं हैं. तो डिजिटल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बना भी दोगे तो डिजिटल आपको सारा टीचिंग मटेरियल्स, ये सारा चीज आपको उसके डिजिटल स्कूल बनाने के लिए एक डिजिटल ऑफिस भी बनाना पड़ेगा उसके लिए. तो रिसोर्स, दिस इज हाउ रिसोर्स. सो यू विल गो इंक्रीमेंटल वे. इंक्रीमेंटल वे क्या करोगे आप? एक पोर्टल बना दोगे, एक कोई प्रोग्राम ट्रेनिंग लेकर के आ जाओगे, ट्रेनिंग देंगे हम बच्चों को, कुछ कोर्स आप डिजिटल देना शुरू करोगे, किसी स्कूल में डिजिटल बोर्ड आप लगवाना शुरू करोगे. ग्रेजुअल प्रोसेस. एकाएक नहीं हो सकता है. एकाएक चलो एक हमने मिशन मोड प्रोग्राम लाया और सारे स्कूल को हम डिजिटलाइज कर रहे हैं. इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल. So resource, let's say resource is constant, involves so many things: human resource, physical, financial, technological, all these things. This we can consider. These are the factors. That is how incremental means ki policy will be incremental, plus human tendency is also, you know that human tendency is that just to go by human does not want to take risk. Inertia factor you can say, bureaucracy we can say. और budgeting is the best example that कि budgeting if you analyze in the present government तो क्या ऐसा change हुआ है budget में? Yes, the railway budget is merged with general budget. ये एक मेजर चेंज हुआ है 10 सालों में. और बजट में ऐसा क्या चेंज हुआ है? जो भी चेंज हुआ है वो इतना रेडिकल नहीं है. जैसे परफॉर्मेंस बजटिंग आउट पहले से भी था, आउटकम बजटिंग पहले से भी था, आपने उसको मर्ज कर दिया. हाँ, जब कैश अकाउंटिंग से एक्रूअल अकाउंटिंग होगा तब हम बोलेंगे कि रेडिकल है. बट वो भी एक्रूअल अकाउंटिंग गवर्नमेंट विल नॉट एडॉप्ट इन वन गो. It is implementing in Indian Railway. It will implement for other PSUs. Then gradually it will adopt this. So change will also be gradual. This because there is a risk factor. Skills you do not have. You don't have skilled personnel for accrual accounting in each department. It is also not needed. बहुत सारे गवर्नमेंट डिपार्टमेंट है, they are expenditure oriented, not income oriented. So we do not necessarily need accrual accounting there. So it is not needed that we should bring change. That is what we can say. We were talking about incremental. Now rationalists will say उनका approach ही अलग है. वो बोलते हैं कि we can improve policy. उनका फोकस ये है कि हम पॉलिसी कैसे बनता है इससे मतलब नहीं है. उनका ये मतलब है कि we can make policy best. तो बेस्ट पॉलिसी बनाने के लिए how you will do that? They will innovate tools and techniques. बेस्ट पॉलिसी बनाने के लिए आपके पास पॉलिसी रिसर्च होना चाहिए, टेक्निक्स होना चाहिए, जैसे एविडेंस बेस्ड पॉलिसी मेकिंग, बिग डेटा एनालिसिस. दैट वे दे विल ट्राई टू टेस्ट सो दैट वी कैन मेक आवर पॉलिसीज बेटर. ट्रांसफॉर्मेटिव जिसको बोलते हैं. नाउ व्हेन रेशनलिस्ट विल फॉलो स्टेप बाय स्टेप का मतलब ये होता है स्ट्रीमलाइन प्रोसेस. इफ यू मेक पॉलिसी इन ए स्ट्रीमलाइन मैनर then it will become rational. The streamlined manner means that you take the steps, means you try to formulate in a step by step manner. That rational या best policy तो ऐसे ही बनेगा ना. वो तो lackadaisical ad hoc होगा नहीं. तो first you set up a committee, suppose committee has recommended, you review it, then committee has recommended, you take steps. But governments, let's say that yes, they do also, they do not do also. Both aspects you can consider. Many a time committee has given recommendation, जैसे we have told you in recruitment कि YK अलग recommended, ARC second constituted, PC होता है constituted. But government implemented YK अलग है, जो कि डिमांड में ही नहीं है. Government is not implementing ARC. जिसने सेटअप किया वही नहीं अडॉप्ट कर रहा है. तो यूपीए गवर्नमेंट सेटअप ARC second. It gave recommendation on recruitment. But UPA implemented in 2011 CSET and optional. That was on the basis of YK Alag committee. YK Alag was not constituted by UPA. It was constituted by Vajpayee government. So relation, if you say that कि how they take decision, the decision you take in a random way. This disjointed incrementalism is called randomness. So there is randomness in decision making. Rather than ki step by step decision making. Incrementalist, organized anarchy model, garbage can model, they will highlight the randomness in policy making. Right? Lack of link between preceding and succeeding steps. There may not necessarily be link. Preceding is ARC, second is constituted. Succeeding is you could have taken steps on that basis. But you are taking steps not on the basis of the committee you constituted, rather you are taking steps on the basis of a committee you have not constituted. It seems to be randomness. Randomness related to lateral entry, we have shared it. That's why I say that public policy is nothing but you have to bring all your knowledge of entire, let's say, chapter, all chapters. Like we told you that Shashi Tharoor asked to the government in 2016, do you have a lateral entry policy? And since it was a start question, let's say this is given in written. Government gave in written. उन्होंने तो सोशल मीडिया पे पोस्ट कर दिया जब गवर्नमेंट ने डिसीजन लिया और बोला कि जब आपका डिसीजन ही नहीं था 16-17 में, एक आपके पास कैसे आ गया ये डिसीजन. It means it shows randomness. क्यों? Government was forced to bring lateral entry since it was facing shortage. Government did not have this idea कि when it will practice this harshness in terms of civil services, perform and ability to perform and integrity, so IAS will be less willing to serve to central government. This, therefore, less IAS are, let's say, willing to serve to central government. They want to remain in their comfort zone at state level because यहाँ आएंगे तो 9 to 9 work करना पड़ेगा. Yes. So when it is facing shortage, so then it is forced to bring lateral entry. It shows it is forced to bring lateral entry to overcome shortage. It means it was not in plan. It is a random decision, even if it is a radical decision. Bringing lateral entry is a radical decision. Yes. So that way, this is how they will highlight. I guess you understand incrementalism and rationalist. This rationalist we have not given much focus because public choice approach already you know that. Simon also you know that. This Pareto optimality we told. Optimality is simply, let's say that suppose this is how the crowd we have and means this class, let's say, and सुना है कि केक भी आ रहा है, isn't it? केक वर्क करने के लिए. Anyhow, so मान लो उसी का एग्जाम्पल ले लेते हैं, ठीक है? The cake is a resource, you are the number, isn't it? अब उसको डिवाइड करते हैं, राइट? कर सकते हैं एक्सपेरिमेंट जब आएगा तो, राइट? तो किसको कितना देना है ताकि एक ऐसा टाइम आए कि उसके बाद अगर हम डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन करते हैं तो किसी एक का कम हो जाएगा, isn't it? Cake should be divided in such a way that it is equally divided among all. Yes. And तो एक जंक्चर आएगा ना उसका कि yes, this is the equality. आप पहले काउंट कर लो कितने लोग हैं, उसके बाद उसको पार्ट करो. Yes. जितना पार्ट करोगे फिर लगेगा कि इक्वल नहीं है, कुछ बच गया, तो फिर थोड़ा थोड़ा आप करोगे ऐसे, isn't it? डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करोगे, राइट? फिर थोड़ा सा बच गया, मान लो फिर से आप डिवाइड करोगे, तो एक स्टेज ऐसा आएगा, राइट, कि फर्दर डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन विल रिजल्ट इनटू मेकिंग ए पर्सन वर्स. यस. So when that cake is distributed among you in equal manner, it is called optimal distribution. It is called optimal distribution. ये तो बहुत ही आसान है, right? लेकिन गवर्नमेंट के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में तो बहुत कॉम्प्लेक्स है. 1.4 billion people, different categories of people, this different sectors we have. And government has limited resource. This and distribution is very complex. इतना आसान नहीं है कि केक लाया काट कर दे दिया आपको, राइट? वहां तो पहले केक डिपार्टमेंट में कटता है, राइट? फिर वो कैबिनेट उसको थोड़ा सा मतलब कि थोड़ा बेक करते हैं, फिर वो पार्लियामेंट में जाता है पूरा बेक करने के लिए, isn't it? तो वो उसके बहुत सारे कॉम्प्लेक्स प्रोसेस है. इसीलिए बजट में मान लो कि 46 लाख करोड़ है, तो दैट 46 लाख करोड़ वेदर वी आर डिस्ट्रीब्यूटिंग इन डिफरेंट पीपल एंड आर वी लेट्स से ट्राइंग टू लेवल सोसाइटी, मीन्स इज इट हेल्पिंग इन इम्प्रूविंग लेवलिंग. this leveling, let's say, as I told you that the first day itself, the society is, let's say that there are so many differences in our society, different people, different categories you have. तो अल्टीमेटली आपको एक मिनिमम स्टैंडर्ड तो लेना होगा. सोसाइटी शुड अचीव मिनिमम स्टैंडर्ड, मैक्सिमम तो नहीं हो सकता है. तो कैन वी से कि देयर इज ए मिनिमम स्टैंडर्ड? दिस do we have minimum standard of distribution of resource? The optimal model will focus on this aspect. It will analyze, it has lots, its own formula. If you read in economy, it has its own formula to represent optimality is calculated. It is more, let's say that in economics, let's say It is one such theory which has lots of, let's say, formula to derive, calculate, resource, this and that, different categories of people, and the resource distribution. This. Now, many a time it is said that you know that budget. So when budget comes, so you hear that corporate sector has been given more concession. Yeah, budget gives favor to corporate sector. Budget has nothing for farmers. Budget has nothing for, let's say, that middle class. Our budget is middle class oriented. The balance, let's say that you can find always flaws in budgeting, and that is a challenge for the government. Many a time budget it focuses on some areas. राइट जैसे बजट है और इलेक्शन 4-5 स्टेट में हो रहा है तो हो सकता है कि बजट उस एरिया को फोकस कर रहा हो. दिस इट इज इम्बैलेंस. दिस वी कैन से. So that is how, let's say, optimality will discourage such practices and it will help in equitable distribution of resources. But it is very challenging. Right. Challenging in the sense that then again Sen will tell if there is a pie and you distribute in 1/3 to 3 persons, it is optimality. But the 3 people are not equal. This, that you can say that the 3 people are not equal. This, so that way we can consider. This is how it will be very challenging. Many a time one person in the entire pie still वो equal नहीं होगा. जो weaker section है, regional areas है, backward area, जैसे बिहार है, मान लो बिहार, उत्तर प्रदेश, उड़ीसा, right? So our Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Odisha, you can say Madhya Pradesh, etc. You can count, and southern states. And let's say कि 12th 15th finance commission का example लेते हैं. So finance commission has recommended 42% share. UP is getting 17%. Now other states for, let's say, southern states have their grievance. So can we say it is optimal? No. It is not optimal. It is trying to achieve. Why it is not optimal? Because on formula there can be lack of consensus. In a given situation, it is a better way to distribute. This we can say. We can say it's satisfactory, but it is still not desirable. Right? Still it can be worked out, still we can improve. But Finance Commission is trying to achieve optimality. It is trying to achieve optimality by adopting a formula. The example can be given. But still you should know that poorer states are getting more, richer states are getting less. So why we are giving poorer states more? To make them equal to the, let's say, performing states. So from social justice perspective we can justify. But they have their own way to analyze it. This, because other side is that if you are giving more, then it is incentivization of underperformance. Even formula can be the best example in optimality. When you write this Pareto optimality, formula of 15 formula of Finance Commission is nothing but to achieve optimality. It tries to achieve optimality in resource distribution between union and states and states. Yes, that way we can understand this. So this is what we can talk. This is what we were saying.